A brilliant 85-inch television now costs less than a 65-inch OLED, and the one to buy is the 2025 Hisense U8, the model U8QG, at under $1,800. Because at this size, the whole game changes, and the premium brands stop being worth it. 85 inches used to be rich person money. It is not anymore, and that is the good news. But it is also where the most expensive mistakes hide, because a bad 85-inch TV is a giant gray wall that fails in 2 years, and an overpriced one is $1,000 you set on fire for nothing. So this is the honest list. The 85-inch set's actually worth buying, the one premium pick if you truly want it, and the 2 traps that turn a dream screen into a regret. Start with the rule that governs this whole size, because it saves you the most money. At 85 inches, brightness and value beat everything, and OLED stops making sense. Here is why. An OLED makes the best picture in a dark room, but 85-inch OLEDs are rare and brutally expensive, often $5,000 and up, because the panel is hard to make that big. A mini LED, meanwhile, gets brighter and cheaper as it grows, and brightness is exactly what a screen this size needs to fill a room. So at 85 inches, the smart money is mini LED, full stop. The buyer who insists on an OLED this big pays double for a picture advantage they will mostly use in the dark. Learn that, and you have already dodged the biggest 85-inch mistake. Worth buying, number 1, and the best 85-inch television in America for the money. The 2025 Hisense U8, the U8QG, under $1,800, down from a list price near $3,500. First, the code, because Hisense reuses this name every single year. The U8QG is the 2025 model, the U8N is 2024, and the U8K is 2023, and stores will sticker the old ones hard to clear them. They look identical in a photo. Buy the U8QG, or know exactly what you are saving to step back a year. Why it wins. The U8 throws more brightness per dollar than anything else at this size, well past 1,000 nits with hundreds of local dimming zones, so it stays vivid with the curtains open and still holds a deep black at night. On an 85-inch screen, that brightness is not a luxury. It is the difference between a picture that fills the room and one that looks washed out from across it. You are getting a genuinely premium picture at 85 inches for a price the premium brands charge for 65. This is the one most people should buy, and it is not close. And at this price, the reliability question matters, so here it is straight. Hisense's bargain basement sets are a gamble, but the U8 line is the one that holds up, and it is the model the review labs consistently rank at the top of the value pile. Still, on any $1,800 television, buy it somewhere with a real return window like Costco, and the picture you get for the money makes that peace of mind cheap. On a screen this size, the effect is hard to describe until you stand in front of it. A bright, contrasty image stretched across 85 inches looks like a window, not a TV. One honest note, it runs Hisense's own smart system, which is fine but not the slickest. If it ever annoys you, a $30 streaming stick fixes it forever. That is the only real complaint on an $1,800 85-inch television that performs like it costs $3,000. Quick one while you are here. How far back is your couch from where the TV goes? Drop the feet below. It matters more at this size, and I will come back to it. Subscribe before number 2, because the next one is the Bright Room King, and in one specific living room, it is the better buy. Worth buying, number 2, the 2025 TCL QM8K, around $2,000 at 85 inches. Same warning, different brand. The one you want is the QM8K, The plain QM8 is last year's. The QM8K is the 2025 mini LED, and it trades the crown with the Hisense U8 every year. It is just as bright, the same mini LED idea, and where it pulls ahead is the brightest, sunniest rooms and gaming. It runs Google TV, which most people find cleaner than Hisense's system, and it adds the gaming features a console owner wants. To put numbers on it, the QM8K clears well over 1,000 nits and adds variable refresh rate, so a console stays smooth and tear-free between matches, and a bright afternoon never washes the picture out. On a screen this big, that extra brightness has far more area to cover, which is exactly why the cheap, dim panels fall apart at this size, and this one does not. So how do you choose between the U8 and the QM8K? It is genuinely close. If your room gets blasted with afternoon sun or you game a lot, lean QM8K. If you want the most picture for the fewest dollars and a slightly better darkroom image, lean U8. At $100 apart, you are picking between two excellent panels, not settling for one. Buy whichever is cheaper the day you shop. Worth buying, number 3, and the value hero of this entire list, the 2025 TCL QM6K. Right around $1,000 at 85 inches. This is the one that breaks people's brains. $1,000 for 85 inches of real mini LED with local dimming, not the bare edge-lit QLED the cheap shelf sells. It is not as bright as the U8 or the QM8K, and in a blazing room you would notice. But in a normal living room, watching normal things, this is an enormous, genuinely good television for the price of a mid-range 65-inch set. Remember the rule from the top. At this size, an 85-inch QM6K costs less than a 65-inch OLED and fills 3 times the wall. For most people who just want the biggest great picture their money can buy, this is the answer. What do you give up versus the U8? Peak brightness and a little darkroom polish. Nothing you would notice in an average room watching average content. What you gain is the thing this whole video is about, the most screen, of genuinely good quality for the least money. If your heart says big and your wallet says be smart, the QM6K is the set that satisfies both without a fight. So be honest with me. Are you here for the absolute best picture or the most inches for your dollar? One word below. One trap to name inside the value tier, because the cheap 85-inch shelf is full of it. A set that says only QLED, with no mention of mini LED or local dimming, is a basic edge-lit panel with a color layer. At 85 inches, that looks especially bad, because a flat backlight cannot evenly light a screen that size, so you get gray corners and washed-out blacks across a huge wall. The QM6K earns its spot because it is a true mini LED. The lookalike QLED next to it on the shelf, $50 cheaper, is the trap. Now the premium pick, for the few who want it and have the budget. The 2025 Samsung QN90F, around $3,000 and up at 85 inches. The QN90F, not last year's QN90D. I will be straight. Most of you do not need this, and the U8 gives you 90% of it for $1,000 less. But the QN90F earns its premium in 2 real ways. Its anti-glare screen is the best in the business, so in a room with windows on every wall and lamps everywhere, it kills reflections the cheaper sets cannot. And Samsung keeps its software updated for years instead of abandoning the set. If you have a bright, glary room and you want the set and forget premium option, the QN90F is the honest premium buy. Just buy it knowing you are paying for glare control and polish, not for a picture that is $1,000 better than the Hisense, because it is not. And to be clear about why not just go premium on everything, even at $2,800, the QN90F is a mini LED, the same core technology as the Hisense, tuned and finished better. It is not a different league of picture, It is a nicer version of the same league. That is worth real money to some people in a glary room and nothing to most people in a normal one. Know which one you are before you pay the difference. And one buying warning that applies to any Samsung. Buy it from Samsung, Best Buy, Costco, or another named authorized seller. Samsung honors its warranty only from authorized sellers, and a marketplace listing $100 cheaper can void it the moment it ships. On a $2,800 television, that one check is not optional. Now the two to avoid, because at 85 inches the wrong buy hurts the most. Trap 1. The no-name Doorbuster. The off-brand 85-inch for a price that feels illegal. It feels illegal for a reason. It is a flat, edge-lit panel with no local dimming, the kind that looks gray and washed out and fails inside 2 years, and Consumer Reports puts these no-name brands near the bottom for reliability. A giant, cheap screen that dies in year 2 is not a deal at any price. Here is the better move. If your budget tops out low, buy a smaller real TV, not a bigger fake one. A 75-inch QM6K beats an 85-inch no-name in every way that matters, and it will still be working when the cheap one is in a landfill. It is a pattern, not one unlucky model. The deeper into no-name 85-inch territory you go, the worse the panel and the power board get, because that is where the corners are cut to hit the headline price, and you find out in year 2 when it dies, just out of warranty. A smaller television from a real brand is not a downgrade. It is the upgrade that lasts. Trap 2. The 85-inch OLED. And paying the OLED tax at a size where it makes no sense. I know it sounds backwards to call an OLED a trap, but at 85 inches the math turns ugly. You are looking at $5,000 and up for a panel whose main advantage, perfect darkroom blacks, you will use a fraction of the time. On a screen so big, you actually want the brightness the mini LED gives you instead. Unless you are building a blacked-out home theater and money is genuinely no object, an 85-inch OLED is the most expensive way to get a worse experience in a normal, bright living room. Spend half the money on the U8 and put the rest toward a soundbar that will do far more for the room. There is a second reason the giant OLED makes no sense in a normal living room. A bright room is exactly where OLED is weakest, and where its risk of long-term image retention is highest, while the mini LED simply gets brighter and shrugs it off. So you would be paying triple for the panel least suited to the room most people actually have. An OLED is a home theater tool, not a living room default, and at 85 inches, that gap costs thousands. Before you buy any of these, one quick room check. Because the question I asked earlier decides everything. 85 inches needs distance. The sweet spot is sitting roughly 8 to 11 feet back. Closer than about 7 feet and you start seeing the structure of the image instead of the image, and the screen dominates the room uncomfortably. Measure from your couch to the wall before you buy. If you are under 7 feet, drop to 75 inches and thank me later. If you are 8 feet or more, 85 is going to feel incredible, and one of these 3 mini LEDs will do it without emptying your account. One bonus at this size. Because you sit a little closer to fill your view, a sharp 4K panel like these looks razor clean, every one of its 8 million pixels earning its keep, where a smaller TV wastes resolution you are too far away to see. Measure the real distance with your phone before you commit. Wall to where your head actually sits, not where you wish the couch was. The number decides the size, and the size decides which of these you buy. So the winners, fast. Best overall, the 2025 Hisense U8, the U8 QG. Best in a bright or sunny room, the TCL QM8K. Best value, and the most inches for your dollar, the TCL QM6K. The Samsung QN90F, only if you want premium glare control and will pay for it. And whatever you do, skip the no-name Doorbuster and the $5,000 OLED. At this size, bright and smart beats expensive every time. Every model here is linked in the description with its exact code so you buy the right year. Next on the channel, every major TV brand ranked by reliability for 2026, and the one brand you should never buy.